Hello, we are here today for our next lesson, Part 2, Time Management and Scheduling. Today, you will learn ways to use your time wisely and how to create and keep to a schedule. Your presenters today are...
Hi, everybody. I'm Mrs. Yanoff from Alpine.
Hey guys, again, it's Mrs. Zakowitz over at Mohawk Avenue.
Hi everyone, Mrs. Labar here from Helen Morgan School.
So a quick review of our last lesson. In our last lesson, you learned a lot of different ways to de-stress. Some of the ways you learned were to exercise, get good sleep, find a nice comfy spot to hang out in, and all different kinds of breathing techniques. So hopefully you found something that works for you. I know I did. I love walking with my dog, Leia. Leia loves it too. So I've been getting a lot of exercise and that's been helping me de-stress. Mrs. Labar, what have you been doing?
I love doing my breathing techniques in my comfy spot. It really helps me de-stress.
I love that. What about you, Mrs. Zakowitz? What do you do?
So the breathing techniques, especially just the general deep breathing, works best for me, especially when I'm starting to feel like I'm getting stressed and I realize those triggers like you talked about in the last session. I just take a nice deep breath and they also do positive self-talk.
I love that. Great ideas.
So let's take a look, everyone. Today, what we will be learning. We're going to talk about how to manage your time and use it wisely, as well as how to create a schedule for yourself, what works for you and your house and your family.
Why this lesson is important. We're going to touch upon ways to stay organized, get your work done, and avoid stress. Being organized can be the key to success. It helps you know where everything is, and it is an important component of problem solving, time management, and goal setting. An environment that is organized means things have assigned places and are easy to see. You can have good organization at home, for example, in your room. You might have your toys or items neatly in baskets. You could have your clothes hung up in your closet by color or by season. You could have your books placed in an order on your desk or your shelf. You want your room to be calm and peaceful. A messy, disorganized room or space can create a stressed environment for you. Getting into a routine of using your items and putting them away immediately after use is good practice. You can also use organizational skills at school and with your homework at home. You can use checklists and mark off each as you accomplish your goals. Planners and calendars could be very beneficial when you have due dates. Color coding things using different colored folders or bins can help you with your planning and work as well. Staying organized at school can decrease frustration by helping you get your work done in a stress-free environment. That in itself can help improve your grades. Not every system will work for you, but you need to choose a strategy and practice it each day. Now, avoiding stress. We had our lesson on stress management. Do you remember that? We talked about ways to decrease your stress levels using different strategies, like breathing to calm down, one of my favorites. Keeping a routine can definitely be another strategy to avoid stress in your life.
I really love being organized. It helps me stay calm and feel accomplished. And one way I stay organized is by creating a calendar. Because when I have a calendar, I can add my Google Meets on there. I can write down when my work is due or projects are due. And I can write down different events like my friends' birthdays. So creating a calendar for me really helps me stay organized. This is just an example of a calendar that you could create. So if you wanted to, you can create a calendar just with marker. Get Get a poster board and write it out yourself. Some other things you can do is to use a whiteboard and create a calendar. You can go on your computer and print one out and then add your dates in there. So having a calendar is really helpful.
I agree, Mrs. Yanoff. We use a really large whiteboard calendar to make sure that everyone in our family knows what each other is doing. And then it avoids us getting stressed out or frustrated with one another. So we don't overplan or plan on top of one another. So let's move on to creating a schedule. Really important to create a schedule, kind of like having a plan for a day. In order to keep calm and organized and keep your stress level down, it's important to have that organization. And creating a schedule is just that. But there are different ways you can create a schedule. You could be really detailed or you could be really general. And let me tell you what I mean. For example, if I'm using a really detailed schedule and I'm going to explain what I'm doing hour by hour, say, for example, like 8 a.m., I'm going to wake up and have breakfast. And then I might say, okay, by 8:30, I'm going to get dressed and brush my teeth. Then by 9, I will start my reading and writing work. At 10 o'clock, I think I'll take a break. And then at 10:30, I'll begin my math, so on and so forth. This would be a more detailed schedule that you can keep. Or you can keep a more general schedule. Say like 9 o'clock, I'm going to begin my day because by 9:45, I have my first Google Meet. Then I'll take a snack break after my Google Meet. And then by lunchtime, I want to have my work complete and have the afternoon to play outside. It's almost like a plan for a day or like having a checklist where I can check off, okay, I had my breakfast and I also did my reading. Now it's time for, and then I can look down at my checklist. Notice that in each of the schedules I've described, the detailed one and the more laid back one, I mentioned taking a break. That's very important. If you also remember from our earlier lesson that taking a break helps avoid stress or de-stress ourselves. It's very important to remember to stay calm. And one way to do that is to create those breaks in our schedules.
So a little bit more about what Mrs. Zakowicz was saying with the checklist. A checklist is a great way for you to stay organized and feel accomplished for the day. You can have a morning checklist. You can have a nighttime checklist. I create a checklist for my kids every day. For example, get up in the morning, brush your teeth, brush your hair, make your bed, eat breakfast. And then we also have a checklist for at the end of the day. Get your pajamas on, brush your teeth, brush your hair, get into bed, start breathing, grab your stuffed animal. So creating a checklist could be a really great way to help you get things done and feel accomplished. So I have a sample of one that I created because there's many different ways to create a checklist. You can write your own with marker, or you can type it up. So here's a little example of a checklist that I created. And I love checking off the boxes. It definitely makes me feel good.
I love that, Mrs. Yanoff. That is exactly what we were talking about in that original slide I had just spoken about. And I love how you mentioned that in your family, you talk about checking off, okay, time for bed, because it's important to get good sleep and be consistent with your time managing and keeping a schedule. In order to start your day and be consistent as possible as the day goes on, you need to make sure that you're getting a good night's rest. So, does anybody remember how many hours of sleep we should be getting each night? We said it in our last lesson. Well, if you don't remember, take a guess now. How many hours do you think we should be getting each night? 10 to 11 hours is what we should be getting in order to feel refreshed, energized, and ready to start our day. If you have enough sleep and you feel all of those things, then you can start your schedule with a happy and a positive mood. It is also important to follow through with your schedule, routine, and checklist all the way through the best you can. Then that way you feel satisfied and proud of yourself at the end of the day, either realizing how many things you've accomplished by seeing those crossing outs or those checks next to your list. All of this, being consistent, good night's rest, will make you feel good and be able to manage your time wisely.
Having a home study environment is beneficial to learning. It's your consistent spot to get your work done. It's important that you keep that area a distraction-free zone. What does that mean? Well, that means no TVs, radios, toys, or phones. Keeping your area organized is essential. For example, keeping a calendar or daily planner or agenda is a good idea to help with time management. Having that space set up with all your supplies helps too. That study zone also needs to be a quiet, peaceful spot for you. Remember, it doesn't have to be a desk. It can be that comfy space we talked about in our last lesson. It's your space, so make it look unique for you.
Exactly, Mrs. Labar. And I love that I still see people commenting on Google Classroom. Thank you for everyone who's been doing that. That comfy space we are talking about, it's so important, and it's such a great strategy, not only for keeping you calm and relaxed, but it helps ground ourselves so that we can get focused on the task that we need to do or the task that is about to occur. If we are in a place that we feel calm, comfortable, and most importantly, safe, then you are telling your brain and your body and your emotions that you are ready, focused, and are ready to take on the day and learn whatever it is that you need to learn and complete for the day.
Take a look at these timers in the picture. A timer is a specialized clock used for measuring specific time intervals. There are visual timers that can be used as a motivational tool because you may want to beat that clock. They can be set for the desired amount of time, and when time's up, hopefully you accomplished your task. It can help you learn time management and help you keep on track. Or you can use the timer to complete that assigned work, take a break, and then get back to it. Timers are fun to use when getting ready in the morning or putting away toys or clothes in your room, or even doing your homework or taking that break that we talked about. You can use timers to transition to the next activity. I'm going to show you what I use. This is my timer right here. I use my cell phone.
So I don't know about you, but sometimes when I get up in the morning, I feel a little stressed because I know that I have a lot of things to do during the day. So I've decided that every morning I'm going to wake up and say something positive to myself to get me going for the day, because I want to make sure that when I wake up, I'm pumped for the day, I'm ready to go, and I'm in a good mood. So some things that I say to myself are, stay positive, and you're going to have an awesome day. Mrs. Labar, what about you? What do you say to yourself to kind of get you pumped up for the day?
Well, when I wake up, I motivate myself by saying to myself, stay positive. You got this. Do the best you can today. Mrs. Zakowitz, what do you say or do?
Well, when I wake up, not only do I take that deep breath, but I like to say, I've got this.
That's really great. I love your ideas. So, boys and girls, I want you to think, what can you say to yourself every morning to get ready for the day?
I hope you thought of a great one. You know what? I know you guys thought of a great one. Maybe you can post them in the Google Classroom so others might have an idea or say, I like that. I think I'm going to try that one. Having that positive attitude means having a growth mindset. What that means is you have the mindset to achieve your goals and success through hard work, practicing responsible strategies like the ones we've just discussed, and accepting positive opinions and input from others. In order to maintain this growth mindset, it is important to keep positive, even when you feel your stress may be increasing at times. Remember, Helen Morgan students and Mohawk Avenue students, that net assembly you saw? Well, he's the yo-yo guy, remember? Some of you might remember his message too. NED, NED. It stands for never give up, encourage others, and do your best. That's the mission, the philosophy of growth mindset, all staying positive. We're going to take a look at some statements here, and I need your help to help me determine which statement is a growth mindset by remaining positive versus a negative thought. Let's take a look. I could either say, I can't keep to this schedule, or I could say, I will keep trying. I can do my best. Which statement do you think is the growth mindset? I will keep trying. I can do this. Shows perseverance and working hard. Let's take a look at another one. I could either say, I will do my best, or this work is too hard. Which one is the growth mindset? That's right. I will do my best as the growth mindset. Staying positive, having that self-talk that is encouraging and motivating. All right, I have one more. I can't do this anymore. Or I will take a break and try again later. Which one is the growth mindset? Awesome. I will take a break and try again. It's okay to take breaks. It's not called giving up. It's recognizing those stress triggers when you feel those emotions coming on and taking the responsible strategy to step back, fix it so that you're ready to ground yourself and stay focused. Awesome job, everyone.
I loved what you said about growth mindset. It will definitely help me to stay positive. Take a look at this screen. It is limit your video game and TV time. How much do you spend on screen time a day? It should be no more than 2 hours a day. I know it's enjoyable, but there are so many benefits to limiting that screen time. You know, screen time includes TV time, devices, video games. If you limit it, it could actually improve your health and increase your productivity. How? It reduces your eye strain, and it improves your sleep. It increases your focus. It gives you more time to spend time interacting with your family and friends. Your parents and guardians may limit that time to manage your health, well-being, and safety. Remember, you can use that timer I talked about earlier to time yourselves playing a game or watching a TV show or just taking a break.
I think a timer to limit that device, that screen time, is an awesome idea, Mrs. Labar. I'm probably going to use that with my children one day when they get a little bit older and want to spend more time. So let's review, because we're at the end, everyone. Today, you learned so many things on how to use your time wisely. such as creating calendars, keeping schedules, using checklists, getting that good sleep and being consistent with your routines, and having a study zone, which includes finding that comfy spot. Then we talked about self-motivation by having that growth mindset. And then finally, we ended on limiting that screen time. Post a comment in our Google Classroom on what you've been working on with you and your family. We've been home for over 8 weeks now. What have you been using to keep a schedule? Do you have a study zone? What do you say to yourself to stay motivated to get through this time at being at home, social distancing?
You can visit our YouTube channel for other videos you may have missed, as well as one more learning module to come up. Please join our Google Classroom using the code above if you have not already done so. If you need to reach out to one of us, you can email us, see above. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today.
And don't forget, if you are having a really difficult time and you're having negative thoughts, please tell a trusted adult right away. Thanks for joining us.
We miss each and every one of you. Boys and girls, stay tuned for our next video. Thank you so much for joining us again. Bye now.